Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Marked by Him by S.R. Jones, narrated by Eric Smies and Marie Hawkins. Chapter 1. Nikolai. It has been a long time since I've played the role of judge, jury, and executioner. Some crimes, however, are far too heinous to be left to the henchmen to deal with. It's like coming home to something I know bone deep, a simmering violence under the skin that's reawakened and now coursing through my veins, vibrant and alive. This is what I used to do before I became too important, too wealthy, too powerful. For the fucker in front of me, though, I'll make an exception and get my hands dirty once more. I twirl the blade around in my fingers as I watch the man sniveling, blood covering his face where Valentine's fists have made a mockery of what were once features. This man, this thing in front of me came for one of our own, one of our family. A waitress who worked for me in Chicago and followed me and the boys when we opened our operation here in London. Doreen, a sweet and softly spoken woman in her early 30s, who never deserved to cross paths with this piece of shit in front of us. Not that any woman would deserve what this freak likes to dole out. I'm about to give him a taste of his own medicine. You like to cut women, I say. It's not a question. I know he does. Doreen is scarred, traumatized proof of that. Abuse them. Hurt them. He sniffs and shakes his head. His arms are tied behind the chair with rope, ankles to the chair's legs. Old school. I like it. Valentine and Victor have worked him over well, but now it's my turn. Doreen would have been assaulted too if 3 young boys, only around 18 years of age, hadn't turned into the alleyway to take some drugs. They'd saved her, hit this guy, chased him. They were good kids, smoking a little weed on a weekend night before going to watch a horror film at the Odeon around the corner. Those kids saved Doreen's life. They also got a good look at the guy who attacked her. I got to them before the police did. I explained to them that if they gave me a description of him, I could give him the kind of justice he deserved. Whereas if this went to court, the chances of a conviction were low. He's a particularly unique-looking individual. A shock of fading red hair on the top of a mottled face pitted with acne scars, and one of the tallest, lankiest individuals I've seen in a long time. That's not how we found him so fast, though. Those beautifully brave young men had grabbed the bag slung across his body and not let go, trying to keep him there until they called the police. He'd used his knife to cut the thick cloth strap, leaving him free to run, but the boys holding his bag. Doreen, bleeding, hurt, and terrified, begged them not to call the cops, but to call me. Victor and I arrived in that alley 10 minutes later, everything else forgotten as we rushed to her. The boys were scared, said they had to call the police. I agreed, but I asked them to let me look through the bag first. I had a name and address in seconds. The police arrived. Doreen was taken to the hospital along with Sandy, a female member of staff we'd brought with us. Then me and my men had gone hunting. We found Thomas Drabble before the police could. Then we brought him here to hand out our own justice. Will the police wonder where their suspect is? Most certainly. There have been similar attacks in the news for weeks. He's a serial offender for sure. They'll want to stop him before he can harm anyone else. Will they care when his body turns up in the Thames? No. One less perp for them to worry about. I swear, I don't know what you're talking about, he cries. God, he's pathetic. So weak. If I were in his position, I wouldn't cry and beg. I'd take what was coming like a man. Then again, his weakness is the reason he preys on women, needs to feel like he's big and strong. I cross the room, my steps slow and deliberate. Taking hold of his face, I scrunch it hard between my fingers and force him to look at me. You like to feel big and powerful? He shakes his head. I didn't do anything. No? No! I have something of yours, though, see? I let go of his face and pull the ID card I took out of his bag from the back pocket of my jeans. This has your name, your photograph, and your address. It was on you when you attacked my waitress. Short, dark hair, sweet face, you remember? The one you cut up in the alley and then tried to rape. No, you see, that's just it. Someone stole my bag the other night. His teeth are chattering. That is me, but my bag was stolen. I look to Victor. Fuck. I think we have the wrong man. Victor plays along. He runs his fingers across his stubbled jaw, his bloodied knuckles testament to the workout his fists just got.
Shit, boss. Shall we let him go?
It's weird, though, no? I turn back to fuckface in front of me. You also match the description perfectly of the man the boys say attacked my waitress. She also gave me a description. Guess what? He starts to cry, but doesn't speak this time. Her description also matches you. Is there a doppelganger who happened to steal your ID and bag? Is that it? No reply. He knows he's fucked. I'm a fair man, I tell him. I don't enjoy being cruel. I'm only going to do to you what you did to her, okay? I laugh. Minus the assault, 'cause no way I'm putting my dick anywhere near you.
Could use the knife on him, boss.
Victor pipes up. I stare at my violent little friend. Sometimes Victor's creativeness in the realms of violence shock even me. Yeah, no, don't think so. I don't need to see this fucker's asshole, Valentine says with a shudder. Plus, that makes us as bad as him. I say just cut his dick off. I like that option more, I reply with a laugh. The guy in front of me groans. The strange gurgling sound makes me wonder if I already accidentally stuck my knife in him and just hadn't realized it. His face twists in a grimace, and his body jerks. What the fuck?
Boss?
Victor stares at the man.
I think he's having a heart attack.
The man slumps in the chair, head lolling to one side. It's a trick, Valentine says. Untie him, and let's give him CPR. With the knife. I go to the slumped figure and put my hand against where his pulse should be on his neck. Nothing. Untie him, I order Victor. He does, and lays him on the cold floor. He feels for a pulse, too, and turns to me, shaking his head. It's a trick, Valentine says again.
There's no pulse, fuckwit,
Victor snaps in Russian.
What, you think he's faking that too?
Can be done. I've read about operatives trained to lower their pulse rates so much they seem dead. I stare at Valentine. He's a piece of shit who works at a shoe shop and attacks women. He's not an operative. Stick the knife in him anyway, to be sure. Valentine juts his chin, obstinate as usual. He has a point, though.
This way, we didn't do anything,
Victor points out.
Natural causes. We can dump him in the river, and they'll probably think it's suicide.
You made his face look like a moldy peach, I reply. No one is thinking he did that to himself. Let's wrap him tight, bag him, and dump him in the river. If by a miracle he resurrects, he'll simply die a second time from lack of air.
Fuck me, boss. We scared him to death.
Victor bursts out laughing. I don't join in. This piece of shit took the easy way out, and I wanted him to pay for what he did to Doreen. Wrap, bag, dispose. I bark out the order. Then clean, okay? They nod. I'm gonna get changed and go back to work. 20 minutes later, I walk into my territory a different man. Gone is the knife, any blood, the jeans. My hair is sleek. My suit costs $10,000, and my watch 3 times as much. The watch is simple stainless steel and gold, not a full gold bejeweled monstrosity. The suit, handmade over weeks, fits me perfectly. My personal shopper had the Seville Row tailor come and fit it for me in my rooms here, saving me having to go there. I have this one in navy, a dark gray, and a pinstripe, all made by the same tailor. My shoes are Hermes, my socks cashmere. The poverty of post-collapse Slovakia a memory now. None of it matters to me. It's merely window dressing so I fit in with the idiots here. When I'm not working the club, I'd rather wear sweatpants and a t-shirt. My clothing is expensive but subtle, like my watch. None of the men in here wear diamonds or shirts with logos on them unless it's subtle. A polo pony here, a checked bit of cloth there. Nothing brash, though. Nothing that shouts, "Look at me." British class is a strange thing. You can tell the truly old money because those people don't give a shit. They wear battered old jackets, Wellingtons, drive old cars, have rotten teeth. Their women look like horses. The new money, though, they try. If someone is parading around Chelsea with a diamond watch and a girl on their arm with a Louis Vuitton handbag, they are a tourist, an immigrant, or new money. They are not the old money residents of centuries gone by. The lounge at Club V is old money, full of the creme de la creme of British society. Politicians rubbing shoulders with academics and aristocracy. All of them male, though. No women allowed. This is a gentleman's club, old school, anachronistic, sexist, all those things. But most importantly, this place is powerful. When I look around, I don't see a room full of people. I see a room full of secrets told, confidences shared, and deals made. Thanks to the high-tech listening devices planted all around the room, I get access to those secrets and deals. Many people would find this glamorous. For me, it is work. This is not my idea of rest and relaxation. No, that's saved for when I get to my cottage on the coast in Wales. The ocean air is invigorating, and my beloved Rottweilers are there. I don't think the city is the right place for 3 such big dogs, and the club is on a busy main road. I have visions of them getting run over. So they stay there, with their own personal dog nanny, and I go see them and walk on the beach with them when I can. Still, this might not be my idea of fun, but it is my idea of power. The top tier of British society sits in my palm, that of a lowly Slovakian gangster. The thought makes me smile. These people are mere puppets, and by being so unguarded in my space, they hand control of their strings over to me. I head to the bar and wait as Miguel prepares me a drink. We're a waitress down now, and he'll need to replace Doreen for the next few months. I'll ensure she's well taken care of until she feels ready to return. Miguel passes me the old-fashioned, and I sip it. Perfection, as always. I sip and watch as I prepare to enter my lair and find out what secrets are lurking in the air tonight. It's playtime.
Chapter 2. Sienna. My hands ball into fists as hatred surges inside me so strong it could be a living, breathing force. I stare at the man in front of me, my eyes burning. The words Simon says to me are horrific. He wants me to do more? Simon is a detective, and he's my handler, but I was supposed to be getting out, not this. More spying for him when it was meant to be a one-and-done deal. I thought I was done, but my life is about to change yet again, and not for the better. You said if I got you the information on Rizla that I was out. I swallow hard. I will not cry in front of him and his little cabal of hangers-on. He shrugs, a sneer kicking up one side of his mouth. Simon Barlow is handsome, but in a Ken doll way that totally turns me off. Not that he hasn't tried. Nothing I could overtly prove but brushes of his arm here, touches of his fingers there, and the constant innuendo. Your brother is the one you should be angry with, not us, one of his sycophants points out. We're in the back room of the Red Lion pub, and Simon hasn't come alone this time, but brought 3 friends with him. Is he expecting trouble? Can he mind read? Does the man know I want to pick up the pool stick from the table and smash it over his head? I'm not angry. I lie. Good, so you'll do it. It's very easy. Nowhere near as dangerous as messing about with Rizla and the county lines gangs. I scoff and glare at him in disbelief. Nowhere near as dangerous. You've just finished telling me that this Nikolai Volkov you want me to spy on is... What were your words? Oh yes, Slovakian organized crime. I knew as soon as they said it why they picked me. I speak the language, but not in any depth these days. Simon throws a disgusted glance the way of the hanger-on who'd uttered those words. That's not technically correct. He's difficult to categorize. But what he isn't is the sort of man who would gang rape you with his friends, then leave you beaten to death in a hedgerow, which Rizla most certainly is. You did more dangerous stuff with Rizla, and you got in deep. This isn't anything like that. All we want you to do is work in his club a few nights a week and listen in to any conversations between him and his men. I frown. I don't speak fluent Slovakian. It's basic, my understanding of the language. Right now, I am cursing my excellent ability at picking up languages. Why do I speak Slovak at all? Because my beloved grandmother came from Czechoslovakia and spoke a little Czech and fluent Slovak. They're very similar in many respects, but as a Slovak, she spoke that language most often and would sing me songs in the language. Sometimes, when I was falling asleep, she'd sit in a rocking chair in the corner of our living room in the council house she'd had here in England, telling me fairy tales in Slovak as I drifted to sleep. Over time, I asked her to teach me words, and she did. Then I learned more, and soon we would converse in her mother tongue. It was our thing, our way of bonding, but I'm rusty and haven't spoken it for a good long while. He shrugs. Yes, we know, but you also speak Russian, no? Oh, fuck my life. Yes, I do also speak Russian, because my beloved Babiska also taught me that. And then I decided to learn it properly to help me in my studies, so I began to take night classes as an adult. It isn't Nikolai that we're directly interested in. His business is shady as fuck, but so mixed in with the establishment, I doubt we'd ever bring him down. That's why this isn't inherently dangerous. You're not spying on Volkov himself, but he has a regular guest. Peter Rushenkov. Man is in the club 4 nights a week sometimes. Frequent flyer. Meets contacts there. Rushenkov is most definitely running drugs, and I want to know who he chats with, what he says. You can lurk around, pick up information. This is nothing more than a fishing trip. You're letting me know if there's anything there. Any point in me digging further. You're the canary in the coal mine, not the miner. You pick up anything suspicious, I can then ask my superiors to let me send someone in deep, and that won't be you. Okay? Easy peasy. He beckons me to come closer and brings up a photograph on the iPad he has on the pool table. Peter Rushenkov. He points to the photo of a middle-aged, nondescript man. He looks like an accountant. In fact, he looks so ordinary, I want to burst out laughing. This is the man you're interested in. When he's in the club, try to serve him, hang around near him, see what you can pick up. He swipes the screen. This is Volkov. Best to have as little to do with him as possible. I glance at the screen expecting another Peter, and my heart misses a beat. This is a joke, surely. I glance at Simon to see if he's messing with me, then look back at the screen. The photograph is of a man so incredibly handsome it hurts to look at him. It's a profile shot, and his high cheekbones catch the light. His jaw is square and strong, his nose a perfectly straight blade. And then there's his eyes. They are the color of the whiskey in Simon's glass. Amber. There is no way I can be around a man looking like this and be nonchalant. He's like my dream fantasy man come to life. He's wearing a dark shirt, but there's ink peeking out of his collar, and his neck is thick and strong. His arms are crossed over his chest because he's leaning against a wall, turning to talk to a man beside him. His muscles are so big, they define the shape of his shirt. Holy hell. No way. He's dangerous. Why me? I'm so sick and tired of this shit. Surely they can find an officer who speaks Russian and get him or her a job in this Volkov's place and let them do it. Because you're on the hook to us, and your brother's continued early release depends on it, and because you speak Russian, and you're pretty, you'll get the job when we ensure one of Volkov's staff goes off sick suddenly. Simon rolls his eyes. It's not rocket science. I did what you asked, but now you're changing the terms. It's not fair. Life isn't fair. Cry me a river. It's a few weeks of doing this tops, and only 2 months until your brother is out, and you're free as a bird from all of this. What if I don't hear anything of interest in the time I am there? Then it means there's probably nothing of interest going on, but this is from higher up than me, and they want some ears in there for a while. Tell them to put their own people in. I assume he's talking intelligence here by higher up. I'm a low-level street informant, forced to do such a dirty job to get my brother sentenced for dealing drugs commuted to a low-level sentence, so he'll serve a lot less time. I got them information on a county lines drugs gang by becoming besties with Chloe, the leader's girlfriend. Rizla, the leader, accepted me easily as a part of the group because his girlfriend liked having me around. They were kids. Yes, they were dodgy as hell and violent, but still kids. If Simon thinks that in any way makes me competent to go spy on some Slovak crime lord, he has a screw loose. I know the stories of the old land. My grandmother said at times it was like living in bandit country where she came from. Here's the thing. Simon sits on the edge of the pool table and crosses his arms over his chest. Volkov is a massive fish. Huge. More of a whale. But Peter is more like a tuna. I suppress an eye roll at the fish imagery and him confusing a whale, which is a mammal, with a fish. Now, so far as Nikolai Volkov goes, the intel we have is very shaky. He might not be doing anything wrong. Even if he is, his whale status and his friends in high places make him exceedingly difficult to bring down. It means there aren't resources available to MI6 to launch a full investigation. But if he's hosting someone who we can finger for massive amounts of drug dealing, then we at least have an arrest. It does 2 things. Gets me Peter, who is someone I've had my eye on for a long time, and Volkov's club comes into disrepute. There are issues here which make putting in place our own guys difficult, unless I can show there's shenanigans happening. Shenanigans? God, he's a fool. I still don't get it, I say. He sighs. You don't have to. But to put it in layman's terms, Volkov has friends who have a line into British intelligence. However, they most certainly don't have a line to us, the local police. And they don't have an in with my unit, which is small and focused on gangs and drugs. I can send you in without anyone in a position to alert Volkov knowing. A fishing expedition, as I said, nothing more. If you hear anything of interest, then it gives me the juice to request the money and personnel to do a deeper dig. Nothing you hear will be on the record. No wire at times, like you had to do with Rizla. None of that. You just go in, listen, write in a diary at home, and if you hear anything juicy, you're out of there. And we'll put a proper operation in place, because at that point, my boss will give me resources. I'm not stupid. He's making this sound like it's safe, no big deal. It's not safe. It's the opposite. It's some off-the-books shit cooked up between Simon and someone in his circle, or worse. Maybe an intelligence, who he's admitted are compromised. Both these people are hoping juicy intel will help launch a real official investigation and give them kudos. What easier way for them to do it than a lowly street informant, as we're disposable to these guys. It means I'm going to be left twisting in the wind if it goes wrong. I don't know Simon all that well, but we've spent time talking in his car, and I have gleaned that he's super ambitious, ruthless, and sadly, not too bright. It puts me in a bit of a bind. You don't have to do it, but if you don't, things might not go so well for your brother. One of the other 2 goons with Simon snorts. Yeah, be a shame if he had an accident in the shower when he only has 2 months of his prison sentence left. I signed all sorts of legal documents to state I only had to do the one assignment for Simon and his men to cut my brother that deal. Sadly, both Simon and I know that if he wants to fuck things up for my brother, he can do so without having to do anything official. He wouldn't have to add time to my brother's sentence. No, Simon could simply set him up for something that he hasn't done and let him loose in the wrong part of the prison. A rumor about being a woman beater or worse, a child abuser, and whoops, my brother could slip in the shower and crack his skull open. Louis only has 2 months, and then he's free. I can't bear the thought of anything happening to him. He might be a fuck-up, but he's the only family I have left worth a damn. Our parents are gone, and our older sister deserted us a long time ago. Bitch. My palms sting from where my nails dig into my skin. I want to scratch them down Simon's face and make him bleed. This is a limited-time offer, Sienna. I'm due to meet my wife in 30 minutes. If I walk out of here without a yes, well, I can't be held responsible. In my mind, I scream and lunge at him, scratching his cheeks with the acrylic nails Chloe bugged me to get, until his skin is running with red. I bite my cheek until it hurts as much as my palms. Are you giving me a fake name? Papers? He laughs. We don't do that shit. It's not fucking MI6. One of the hangers-on says with a sneer. Your records are already altered enough from the work you did with Rizla and his crew. You're only going to be working 3 days a week as a waitress for a short time. Replacement for one who is conveniently going to get sick at the last minute, right before her shift. He's already down an experienced staff member, so this is the perfect time. They won't be as careful and will need to fill any gaps quickly. We have a person inside at the recruitment firm the club sometimes uses who will put you forward when they call. I doubt very much this Volkov is going to investigate you that closely. Just do your work, but keep an ear to the ground. Write anything interesting you learn in a diary. That's literally it. Okay. The words are out before I can stop them. I can't let Louis have an accident so close to him being released. Good girl. He pats my head, and I want to bite his hand. What if he finds out I speak Slovakian, or that I'm taking classes in Russian? I ask, the thought suddenly coming to me. What if, somehow, he finds it in my background? Won't that make him suspicious if he has Russian guests? My degree is in art history, but I focused on Russian art for my final year dissertation, and, at my tutor's suggestion, I've been taking night classes in the language to bolster what I already know. My plan had been to apply for a master's in art history after gaining my degree and to specialize in Russian futurism. I've been looking into the possibilities of getting a visa for 3 months. You know we got rid of all your paper trails when you began collaborating with us. You are nothing but a student in art history who waitresses on the side. The Russian night classes have been erased. We did alter one other thing. Simon scratches the end of his nose, a nervous habit when he's getting stressed. We did change the time you spent at the pizza place spying on Rizla and replaced it with 4 months in a Michelin-starred restaurant. Volkov's club won't hire some fast food slinger, so your past is tidied up, okay? Not my babiska, though? Why would she be of any interest to the county lines gangs you had me spy on? I bet you didn't remove her. But if this Volkov person investigates my past and finds out I have a Slovakian grandmother on my maternal side, that will be dangerous. The county lines gangs are English organizations which deal drugs across county and local authority boundaries, not international criminals. We've already erased her links to you, Simon states. Your grandmother is now British. His words cut deep. My God, it's bad enough she's dead, but now she's officially erased, or at least her official role as my dearly beloved grandmother is. I've lost so much in the past 10 years. My mother to cancer, my brother to prison, and my babiska. But this cuts deep. It feels as if my family, my past, all my heritage is slowly fading away. The hatred breathes its fire deep in my belly again. One day, I vow, one day I will make Simon pay. I don't care what it takes. I will make him pay. I might sleep with him when this is said and done. Grit my teeth, screw him, and record it so I can play it to his wife and leave him without his family. Leave him alone, the way he keeps threatening to do to me by harming the only family I have left. Lewis.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?